Hello. Hello, everybody. Nobody's here yet. That's okay. That is okay. In fact, hold on. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hello. Okay, cool. Nobody showed up yet, so I'm cool. It sounds a little weird. I'm usually like wickedly somebody's shown up by now. So I hope everybody has had a marvelous Monday. I don't know. You guys feeling? I pulled out the Angels and Ancestors deck, but I don't know. This is a deck that Heather Washburn, my friend, had given me a long time ago, and I don't use tarot decks that often. I'm like, I kind of like the Oracle deck. Sometimes I felt like I was cheating, and not using the book or what the direction, what it said or whatever on the tarot cards. And so I was like, no, that's not the message I'm getting. So I kind of stopped using tarot cards. Hey, how are you? Hold on. Let me put down here. And went to Oracle cards, and I really loved, Oracle cards. Okay, we're just getting... Gee willikers. Okay. I'm like, okay, there's 4, because I keep having to, bend down. So I'm like, okay, what's the deal here? Okay, alright, so I got a lot of cards. Look at the pretty pastry. You can tell what I'm thinking about. It's been Lent, and I, gave up a lot of cool things. And pastries is one of them. My son loves pastries. So he has a tendency to bring tons of pastries to my house. And so we end up eating a lot of pastries. So do me a favor before I start the reading. Love this video because you're going to love it. Hey, Amanda. And then make a comment where you're watching from, something cool like that. If there's something particular that's on your mind, don't hesitate to leave it there. And then, if you're not following me, follow me. And then don't forget to share. If I see that people are doing cool things and sharing up, or sharing things, and, I can do more of my little giveaways on that, because, Facebook charges us a buku amount of money. And I'm still trying to figure out what it's for. So let's go with this one. Before we start, let's get in a quick smudge. Don't forget, I got Smudge Fest here at at my sacred space, the Oklahoma Healing Connection. That's next Sunday from 10 to 1. Haters not invited. Haters are uninvited. It's going to be about peace, love, healing, and being groovy people. And I had boosted the ad, paid the Facebook thing, and had people, death threats and stuff. And I'm like, really? That's an awful lot of work for people, to have things like that come up. So, oh no. Oh my God, Amanda, I am sending you good vibes. And don't forget to soak in some Epsom salts and clear out all of that negative vibration from that accident. Trauma, it's a trauma regardless. It's a trauma. It's a trauma in the body, it's a trauma in the mind, and a trauma in the spirit. And Epsom salts are fantabulous. So let's take a look at this first card, and I'm like, man, that's already like a doom and gloom, but I don't want to go down that road. I hope it won't be in that path right there. But when we're looking at the 9 of Wands, she looks pretty despondent. She looks bummed out. But I'm like, there's not... How do you say this? Yeah, you might be bummed out, but we still have growth happening. Out there at that far end, I don't see any growth. But here, we still have growth occurring. So it's I guess I'm going to say be a good Boy Scout slash Girl Scout. Um, Prepare for the worst, but always hope for the best. It's kind of like going in there knowing that we got some really dark energy, dark vibration. It's like people wanting to rain on a parade kind of energy coming in through there. And, it's kind of like it's going to make you feel like you want to be really bummed out. Okay, now the Eight of Pentacles is upside down, and you'll notice that it is also in a reverse position. And so I'm going to say, um, I'm not going to say this is going um, in, what was it? In a canoe without a paddle or something to that effect. It's like you don't have all of the resources. You don't have, there's a lot of things that are kind of being taken away, or hidden, that would be a part of your success or part of your prosperity, a part of you moving forwards. So it's kind of like being energy blocked. You might even look at it as in, how we've had the disgustingly high inflation on gasoline. Okay, so those are that, when you start thinking about that, you're thinking about, okay, now I've got to plan my trips or plan my drive time, plan my, behind the wheel time a little bit differently, because what was costing me $30 last week is now costing me $45. So it's being a lot more aware here, aware of how things are being affected to kind of block your prosperity or block your abundance through there. Now, the Empress, and I'm like, damn, she's in an upside down position as well. The Empress is our help card. Now, what's interesting is that normally when we think of the Empress, we think of abundance, we think of nurturing, fertility, life in bloom. And when I'm looking at this, and it's, I'm not getting Mad Max and the Thunderdome that kind of vision, but I'm getting that it's almost tapping into you can't win for losing. And I'm not meaning that in a real negative way, like everything you do falls apart. It's you have to work twice as hard to get things done. You'll have to work twice as hard to get things done. You're going to get it done, but you're going to have to work twice as hard to do that. So this first part of this energy is just like really, I don't want to say negative, but it's almost a downer. And chance favors a prepared mind. So it's like if crap is coming up, you have the ability to get in there and work your mojo, work your energy in order to change things. And I'm like, I'm seeing this week is going to be a really, the beginning part of this week is a really rough week. This is, normally we think about partying, get together in a group, that we're all cohesive, that we're synergistic, we're on the same page, feeling groovy. Well, this is not the case. This is the case of we have a lot of miscommunication, a lot of missed connections going on. So I'm going to say this is not the week. This is not the week to plan a soiree, okay? Don't do that. Don't plan a soiree. Not a good week. This is a lot of miscommunication, a lot of misinformation, a lot of missed connections. Having what I'm going to call unnecessary arguments with this. So, this energy coming in is not very pleasant. It's not very nice. It's not very loving. It's not very kind. Okay. So it's In many ways, you'll need to make sure that you are doing whatever your protection ritual is. If it's you get up and you, while you're getting dressed, that you are meditating on Ephesians 6:10 through 17 about putting on your armor, if that's what gets you going. If you are imagining yourself like Shira, or He-Man and getting dressed, and preparing for your day. Do what you need to do. Think about, that. If you have a family, you have kids, be there, be really, what I'm going to say, be an advocate for their vibration, an advocate for their vibe, their vibe, and do some covering, prayers of covering, meditations of covering, anything to that effect that you like. I'm a Jesus girl, so I do a lot of prayer. I do a lot of rebuking in the name of Jesus on that. I am I do that over my family, even when they're mad at me. I still pray over them, and send them lots of love and peace, and bringing up their vibe. So, all right, so we know the first part of this week is just like crappy energy. Let's see where this all goes to. The Ten of Pentacles comes in, and Ten of Pentacles, so it's like, let's get over this hump, So I'm looking at, Wednesday afternoon into Thursday, Friday, things actually start coming together. So we have a kind of yucky Monday, a rough Tuesday, maybe starting out a little yucky on Wednesday. But we start focusing and start moving towards good stuff, good connections, coming together. Do it like that, coming together. And I love this because it's like you got lots of money all the way around. So we do have some good energy coming in. The Two of Wands is going to kind of place us into a little sense of introspection and looking at who we are and where we're going and what we want to do. And what I think is really interesting, that just looks like a lapis lazuli to me. And lapis lazuli is a stone that was used in the ancients. Um, so if you think about all the ancient and the old esoteric, even the esoterics, um, in their jewelry, in their crown, in their regalia. So you had a lot of the people that were in leadership were using the lapis lazuli. And so there's a really strong indicator that it has this vibration of leadership, this vibration of, and I'm going to say it like this, almost speaking the gospel. It's your words have such integrity and truth to them that people are listening to what you're saying. So when I see this card, it's like we're looking within ourselves so that we can be a better team player, a better member, just a better person coming in through or coming out of all of this nonsense, this negative vibration. Now we've got a lot of pentacles here, so it seems like I'm kind of focusing on in the financial world through there. So I want to say this, be really patient. We may look at some crazy inflation. We may look at crazy gas prices. We may look at crazy food prices, etc. Just be patient. I'm getting this feeling that there's a painting that's being pictured that it's a lot more, that things are more negative than what they really are, and that a lot of times that we'll have the markets or monies will go back and forth, and it's like inflation and all these things may really rise up, but it's going to come back down and settle down. So it's just saying, be patient with that. Be patient. There's a lot of crazy things going on all over, the world. And that's what this card is kind of looking at. This card is looking at what is our place in the world. What are we doing in the world? How are we embracing the world? Or not embracing the world as well. I'm a firm believer that, and I actually learned this from an exorcist, that it takes one light to illuminate or defeat, whatever you want to say, 50 dark. Okay, so if we have war going on over in Eastern Europe, we here have the opportunity to bring in a light for peace. Even everywhere we have that opportunity to bring that light of peace and that vibration of peace. And sometimes I have to sit there and imagine, well, what would peace look like? What would somebody say, oh, this is what peace looks like, or this is what peace feels like? And I'm like, the easiest ways, I don't know if y'all have to be boomers probably to remember this, but back in the day, Coca-Cola had a commercial, and in the commercial it was the chick, I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. And then at the end of the commercial, everybody's like holding hands and singing that song, or, some version of Kumbaya. Maybe we need to get back to that point. Maybe we need to get back to the point. We need to start focusing some positive energy and some good congruent thought and resolutions to the situations that are going on. It's kind of like when people are in war, do we ever really take the time to ask the person that initiates that strike why? The same thing in our personal relationships. When somebody is angry with us and maybe intruding into our territory, our space, whatever, is there ever conversation asking what's going on or why are you doing this? What happened? What was the change? And this world card is talking to me about being change. Being that change, being that force that questions why a negative vibration, or why there is a negative vibration, and what can we do to raise that vibration up into a positive zone. So I'm like, I dig this card. I hear it. I feel it. I see what he's saying. It's kind of like, when we're in the middle of strife, we're too busy focusing on the fact that we have strife, you have strife, you have things going on, and you're angry, and that's all you share is that angry. That's not going to resolve whatever is bringing that up. And so in the world card, it's saying that we need to step back and look at things and what kind of resolutions can we bring so that we can celebrate. Now, the Page of Swords is the very last card here, and you'll notice this page is upside down. Now, the Page of Swords is historically is not a good person. Okay, the Page of Swords is kind of like the cuckoo, maybe like Charlie Manson, somebody along that vibration, your serial killer, something to that, there's a lot of mental instability. There's a lot of things not to trust, not to connect with, not to like, whatever. But we'll notice again that this card is upside down. So I am like, what happens here is that we are in the midst, and this is sitting back and doing nothing so we can make this happen faster, but we are in the midst of defeating the bullshit, okay? We are in the midst of bringing down what has been mentally unstable, that has been thwarting our success, that has been blocking our joy, blocking our light, that we are finally going to end up in a position to knock that out. I love this, but we're now going to be in a position to knock that out and seize back what is rightfully ours. Now, it's kind of like when you think about reclaiming your energy. So this is that card that says it is time for us to start reclaiming our energy that was misappropriated by others, other people, other places, other events. Okay. willingly or unwillingly, knowingly or unknowingly. This is this opportunity here to start reclaiming your energy and bringing it back and building up that strength, building up the strength of a united people, a united community, all of us being on the same page. So I dig this reading. So do me a favor. Love this reading. Love it. It gets up in the algorithm. And then comment where you're watching from, or if you have any comments, if you got questions, anything like that, hook a sister up. And then don't forget to share it. We need to let people know that chance favors a prepared mind. And if you know the energy that's coming in, that you can grab that bull by the horns and take control. So, as I got a client coming in and I got to go get ready. So peace, love, and harmony, guys. I love you and I hope to see you all very soon.